Have you ever noticed synchronicities in your life? Like everything just seemed chaotic and crazy, and you wanted things to work out a certain way. They didn't. And then all of a sudden, the puzzle pieces come together in an amazing way. All right. Um, well, I'm going to share some of my amazing synchronicities today. And the Bible verse is from Ecclesiastes. It is, "There is a season for everything, a time for every purpose under the heavens." Okay, so we're talking about seasons and time. All right. I have a special announcement. My book, God's Master Plan for Salvation, is available in Amazon now for pre-order. I was wondering when should I make this book the actual release date? And I had toyed with the idea of September 9th, 2025, the 999. Because God has made that a special date for me as the end of something, right? At the end of my old self and the beginning of my new self. Well, anyway, but still, when should I make this book available? Um, and that date had some potential. There's reasons, but September 21st also had some good synchronicities. Now, I had, the reason why is because my upcoming book is about the marriage supper of the Lamb. It's lots of things are in it, but that's the core meaning of it, okay? As we enter the millennial reign, a new era, okay? And so the reason why the 21st is good is because it is an eclipse where the masculine and feminine energies of the sun and moon are united. So because we're talking about the marriage supper of the Lamb, right, the union, that's a good date. Also, September 21st is Feast of Trumpets. Also, it is within 24 hours of the fall equinox, where the world is balanced, right? Equal day, equal night. So anyway, so yes, of course, I wanted to lean towards the 21st as the official release date. But I felt prompted to dig deeper into that date. And I just felt count back 40 weeks. And 40 weeks from that date, September 21st, is December 15th of last year. All right. And on December 15th, I did something special. All right. If you look in my testimony, I talk about it. I traveled down to Florida for the first time to do a flag routine, and I earned my Blue Star Merit Badge. That's what I call that. Okay, when I went down there, and so that is what most people know on the surface. You know about that. But behind the scenes, the idea of me traveling down was union. All right. I had entered a new soul contract with somebody, and I went down trying to push the issue of union. Okay. So because I know what I am supposed to do, but I didn't have all the details. I didn't have, sometimes we put our will, but God's will is is supreme, right? So it doesn't matter necessarily what you want. God's God's will is supreme. So the behind the scenes purpose for going down there was union, okay? And but it was, I had planted a seed. The idea, we all have ideas, like a little seed in our hand, but I put it into a physical manifestation. I traveled down there to do that, all right? And anyway, after so 40 weeks from me planting that seed, here we go full circle, and I'm publishing my book, God's Master Plan for Salvation, on like a full pregnancy term later, okay? Because it's time. It's Feast of Trumpets, a solar eclipse, fall of the equinox. Everything is balanced, all right? Now, here's the interesting thing, all right? December 15th is a special day for me. Every year on December 15th, God gives me some kind of a supernatural experience, all right? On December 15th, 2018, I had my first dream where I was with Jesus, and I didn't just meet Jesus. It was a 4-series dream, all right? 4 different scenes in this dream. And in the first scene, I met Jesus. We were building a banquet table together in preparation for the marriage supper of the Lamb, okay? In the second dream of this series, I met the Divine Mother, and then I met the Divine Daughter, the whole family. She anointed me with the fire of the Holy Spirit. And then I met the Divine Father, all right, God the Father. And when I woke up from that experience, my body shook. It was some people call it the Kundalini awakening, okay? It was my experience, and I woke up from that, and my body shook for 2 weeks, all right, like was full of electricity. And it was as if I was awakened and activated, like a sleeper cell, all right? And I started my Bible project, Sword of the Spirit, where I did my interpretation of the Bible. You can find that link to it online for a free download in the description box. Also, it is available on Amazon, all right? So, anyway, that's December 15th. Every year from that date in 2018, I have supernatural experiences, all right? And so to see, which is, what is my purpose here? It has to do with my purpose. My purpose is to help usher in the millennial reign, all right? That's my purpose. And I'm going to have to write a book sharing all these stories, all the synchronicities, one of these days, right? My personal testimony, giving real detail and mapping it all out, because it's absolutely amazing how I came out of my awakening. And now I'm coming to this birthing that started last December 15th with the idea of union. Of course, that has been in the back of my mind forever, but I actually took action, right? I took action. And then here we are coming out with a book. So what I took action on is manifesting in the real world. Okay? So I don't know when I will actually, I know the book is coming out. When will I have union? When will I have marriage in the real world? I don't know. But I will tell you, the other day I was listening to someone talk about Jacob from the Bible, and he was given his interpretation of the story of Jacob. I share my own story interpretation of that story in my book, and it's very prophetic. And modern understanding of the book of Jacob doesn't come close to what the interpretation is going to be once you read my book, okay? But as I was reading, as I was listening to him talk about Jacob, I had a vision. I looked at my hand, and it was like an 80-year-old, all right? And it was covered in huge, huge diamonds rings, all right? They were huge, like the size of nickels and dimes. And each ring, each finger had 2 to 3 rings on it, okay? And anyway, so I'm looking at this, my hand, my 80-year-old hand, and on the ring finger, there were 2 pillow top cushion style diamonds that had like a rainbow effect to it. Really, they looked like they were so clear. These diamonds were so clear, they looked like prisms, all right? Like crystal prisms, because they had a rainbow effect that was very powerful. And so there was 2 cushion diamonds, and then in between them, buried beneath it, was a modest, in comparison, very beautiful wedding ring, yet modest in comparison to these nickel and dime sized diamonds that were all over my hand. And so that was telling me, it was symbolic of the 2 pillows, that I would eventually get married. That union would become very prosperous, okay? But it will start off very modest, okay? It'll start off modest, but the union will be prosperous. And why am I saying that has to do with union? Well, there was a wedding ring, number 1, but the 2 pillow top cushion style diamond rings that surrounded it, all right? A marriage bed has pillows, hello? Not 1, but 2. Anyway, and then I also had, now that was a pretty glamorous vision, but I had a second vision a couple days later, and this one isn't as glamorous, but it gives an idea of what my marriage is going to be like, all right? So I saw a big closet, okay? Like a confessional closet, all right? If you ever go to a Catholic church, their confessional closets aren't built into the wall. They're literally boxes, okay? So that's what it was like, all right? Except it didn't look like a church confessional closet. It looked like a gray school locker. It was in the shape of a closet, but it had the gray color, and it was metal. And in fact, the front doors were 2 top lockers. The lower part was nothing. It was just a gray metal, like everything else around it. So 2 lockers. So a his and a her, all right? And within this confessional style closet was actually a toilet. I could see through it with my x-ray vision, and there was a toilet in that closet. So it was a toilet closet. Okay. So not all my visions are glamorous, but they have deep meaning, all right? So my marriage, whoever I'm going to be with, it's going to be with someone who's in Earth School with me, right? And we are going to collaborate our 2 life experiences, right? And we are going to confess them to one another. This happened to me, that happened to me. Okay, we're going to think about those life experiences, and then we are going to digest and process those life experiences. All right. So one dream was pretty glamorous, and the other one was not so glamorous, but had deep symbolic meaning. Okay. So I don't know when I'm going to have physical union, but God still intends for that to happen for me someday. And but my book is currently available for pre-order on Amazon. All right. Well, my name is Wendy, and we're all living in the winds of change.